Hey guys, so here we are with Hotfix 22.13.3. Now this hotfix is rather large compared to other hotfixes that we've had previously, and that is because it contains the changes to all the beam weapons and their behavior in-game. So what they've done is made it so all beam weapons will now have perfect accuracy and a higher fire rate. However, they've balanced that by limiting the range and having the damage ramp up from 10% to 100% over a 0.8 second period. Now if you stop firing, that will go back to 10% over a 1 second period. As for those wondering about the ammo economy, well, they've made it so beam weapons will now consume 0.5 of your ammo per trace, unless they are flamethrowers, such as the Ignis and the Atomos. Now if you don't remember what they did with the primary weapons a week or two ago, they've balanced each of these weapons in Mastery rank tiers. So for Mastery rank 4 and 6, we now have the Flux Rifle, Ignis, and the Quanta. For Mastery rank 7 and 9, we have the Galaxian, Ignis Wraith, Convetrix, and the Panthera. For Mastery rank 10 and 12, we have the Synapse, Amprex, Quanta Vandal, and Phage. Those are the primary beam weapons. As for secondaries, we have Mastery rank 0 to 3 with the Gamma Core, Mastery rank 4 to 6, the Atomos, Nucore, and the Spectra, and Mastery rank 7 and 9, Cycron, Embolus, and the Cyanoid Gamma Core. Now, if you want to know the exact changes that came to these weapons, just go to the forum post, Control F, and type the weapon that you're interested in. It's a lot easier for yourself to find out exactly what you want to know, instead of listening to me read it out. Well, just as I finished recording, we got another hotfix, so there's some more changes to beam weapons. You can just hear the fucking Warframe forums in the background, whatever. So, in this new hotfix, in Hotfix 22.13.4, they increased the beam weapon damage ramp up time to 0.8 seconds to 1 second. They've fixed beam weapon damage ramp up not happening per target. The Convetrix alt fire beams now continuously sweep back and forth. Basically, 3 fixes to the Convetrix. The Panthera alt fire now consumes 1 ammo instead of 4. They've fixed the Panthera ultimate fire consuming ammo when hitting surfaces other than enemies. They've made some more changes to controller interactions with the planes of Eidolon map. They've made some changes to the invasions, specifically endless nodes. So defense missions will now go for 5 waves. Survivals will go for 5 minutes, interceptions will go for 1 round, and excavation will only go for 500 cryotic. And there's some changes and fixes, you can read them here, or you can read them on the forums. Anyway, moving on to the actual changes that came in point 3. Now, on top of these statistical changes to those beam weapons, there's also the removal of status per second for the beam weapons. They've made it so the status chance on beam weapons now act like every other weapon in the game, so you'll be able to proc multiple status effects at the same time through each shot, depending on your status chance of the weapon. Now besides that stuff, they've made some minor tweaks to the sounds of the Flux Rifle, they've made some tweaks to the reload timing on the Galaxian and the Gamma Core, and they've tweaked the Synapse beam to better represent its now corrosive damage. Now they've also made a few tweaks to non-beam weapons with the Cernos Prime's alternate fire now being silent. They've increased the fire rate of the Zenith's alternate fire, and they've made it so the Talons and the Kastanas, when they have multi-shot equipped, will now send out the fucking grenade things of them in a more predictable pattern. They've added the hit notifications for when you've actually hit a shot and when you've missed a shot, which they showed off in a previous dev stream, so that's now in the game. So if you play with sound, you should hear that now. They've made some changes to the advanced Planes of Eidolon map, mostly making it so you can pan it halfway off the screen. When opening it, the player position will be centered on the screen, and how controllers work with the Planes of Eidolon map. Now moving on to other changes besides the beam weapons and the Planes of Eidolon map. They've doubled the endo awarded from Samaris' daily synthesis target. The hold to charge abilities such as Ember's Fireball, Zephyr's Tailwind, and Hydroid's Barrage will no longer autocast when full and will now be activated upon release, unless you run out of energy. The critical chance, critical multiplier, and status effect chance will now apply to enemies inside of Zephyr's Tornado. They've lowered the particle burst and opacity and particle count on the Gauntlist and the Hydralist abilities. They've lowered the particle burst for the Vonvolus charge-up attacks. They've tweaked the Kavat wall attack behaviors to prevent Supercat. The Adaza and Smita Kavat's critical chance buffs no longer apply to the operators. They have updated the description of the Entropy Burst mod to read base status chance instead of status chance, When picking up a Syndicate Medallion, Exceptional Sentient Core, Flawless Sentient Core, or other such items, the UI will now show up the little reward icon that shows up in the bottom right hand corner. Talking to Onku will now remove all other operators or frames inside the room. When customizing your Warframe under the Appearance tab, your Warframe will now appear unarmed and idling to make customization easier for you. The message that appears when you are over the Riven capacity limit will now have options to open the dissolve screen, purchase slots, or return to the mod section. They've corrected a texture on the Rapala Syandana to make it fully opaque, and they've tweaked the Saren Natamoda skin to have a more pronounced pulsating effect as requested by the creator. As for the fixes, they're up on the screen. You can read them here, or you can read them on the forum post when you check out the weapon changes. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. About 24 hours ago before recording this video, and holy shit, it's a fucking ripper, eh, mate? It's like Steve Irwin jumped into the ocean, got barbed by a fucking stingray. Hey, fucking kill me now, cunt.